My name is Evan, and I like to draw. And today, I'm going to embrace my inner JOHN Jonah Jameson and draw a picture of Spider-Man. Now usually all my drawings are done in a vector brush, but today I'll be using a pixel brush that gives it this rough comic sketch outline. And I'll also be using these grids, which oh my god they hurt my eyes to look at. Now these grids are good for getting 3D perspectives, which I'm terrible at drawing by freehand, so we're using the grids. The way they work is essentially wherever you put the pen on the screen, you can just drag it in a certain direction and it'll treat it like a ruler and it'll just do a straight line all the way through. So I can do that to sketch an outline of the buildings and then just trace them over in the final layer. And once that's done, I can get to work on the center building, which will be the Daily Bugle. Now the Daily Bugle has these weird little rims along the top, so I can try my best to do those by adding in yet another grid to then get straight lines all the way through. And after that I can go in and add the weird little beams that kind of break up all the windows, and then add in the windows in between. Next up, we can put the words at the top by using a text layer and then using all the perspective tools and distortion tools to get them to look like they're words on top of a building. And then after that, I can draw on the bugle, which will go in between the words once it's done. But it turns out I have no idea what a bugle looks like because it actually is just a weird little metal tube that just wraps around itself. So I can go back to the drawing and then fix the one I did. Then we can shrink it down, put it in between the words, and then add in the weird little pokey things that hold up all the words. And that's the Daily Bugle finished, and then I can move on to the rest of the buildings. The other buildings will get a random assorted of windows and doors, but on one of them, I'll put the Sanctum Sanctorum window on, because references are fun. Then I can go in and add the windows to the remaining ones, and give all the buildings doors, because I forgot those before. Then I can thicken up the sidewalk and add perspective where all the little pieces connect. And after that we can finally get to work on Spider-Man. And since this is a picture of Spider-Man, I've got something in mind. We're going to draw him inside of a little Polaroid printout. So I can start by sketching out a rectangle in the middle of the canvas. Then I can add the words to the bottom so we know what it is that we're looking at. And to prevent any layers from overlapping, I'm going to change the Polaroid from transparent to white, but to do this I need to put neon green behind it so I can actually see what I'm doing. After that's done, I can pop in a sketch of Spider-Man, and then go through it with the correct lines that'll be part of the final drawing. And of course I gave Spider-Man his classic taunting upside down wave pose. And after that I can just magic in the lines on his suit, and that's the outline finished and onto the coloring. We'll start at the front and work our way down the layers, so we can begin with Spider-Man by giving him the nice red all the way throughout his suit on the parts that are red, and then giving him the blue on the parts that are blue. And once that's done, we can go in with a low opacity brush and then give shadows to all the parts that overlap. And then after coloring in his eyes, I can give them very light white highlights to bring more detail to those. As for the back of the Polaroid, we can give it a nice sky blue and then some bushes in the background. And then I can realize that the bushes were upside down and I can flip them so gravity works normally. But after doing all that, I thought it'd be cooler if Spider-Man was actually swinging by the Daily Bugle and someone snapped a picture right then, so I can draw some parts outside of the Polaroid outline and get rid of the background we already drew. Then I can go through with a lowered opacity white brush and add some highlights to his costume. And that's Spider-Man finished, so we can now get on to coloring the background. The Daily Bugle will get an assortment of browns and tans, but the bugle on top will be a nice golden yellow. And since I'm bad at making videos, I forgot to record all the other buildings, but I did record the street and the sidewalk, which will get texture brushes to give them some grainy texture. And then the last thing to do will be to give it that classic comic book style by adding in those little opacity bubbles all throughout the drawing. And once that's finished, that's us done here and onto the gallery. Well, there it is. A picture of Spider-Man. I don't really have anything else to say, but, thanks for sticking out to the end, guys, and I'll see you later.